the depths of the forest, where the moonlight struggled to penetrate the canopy above, there stood an old, abandoned mansion. It was a place of dark legend, whispered about in hushed tones by the villagers who lived nearby. They spoke of strange noises and unexplained occurrences, of doors that creaked open by themselves and windows that shattered without cause. The mansion had once been the home of a wealthy family, the Smiths, who had lived there for generations. But one fateful night, tragedy struck. The family was found dead, their bodies cold and stiff, with no signs of struggle or foul play. The cause of their deaths remained a mystery, and the house was left to decay, a haunting monument to the tragedy that had occurred within its walls. Years passed, and the mansion became a place of morbid curiosity. Brave souls would venture into the forest, hoping to catch a glimpse of the house, but few dared to enter. Those who did spoke of an eerie feeling, as if they were being watched by unseen eyes. One stormy night, a group of friends decided to explore the mansion. They had heard the stories, but they didn't believe them. They were skeptics, convinced that the tales were mere fantasy. As they approached the house, the wind howled and the trees creaked ominously. The group laughed, thinking it was just the storm playing tricks on them. They entered the mansion, their flashlights casting eerie shadows on the walls. The air inside was thick with dust and the smell of decay. As they explored the rooms, they began to feel a presence around them. At first, it was just a faint sensation, but it grew stronger with each passing moment. Suddenly, they heard footsteps, heavy, deliberate footsteps, coming from the floor above. The group froze, their hearts pounding in their chests. They tried to convince themselves it was just the wind or the old house settling, but deep down, they knew it was something more. One of the friends, a brave soul named Alex, decided to investigate. He crept up the stairs, his flashlight trembling in his hand. As he reached the top, he saw a figure standing in the hallway. It was a woman, dressed in old-fashioned clothing, her face pale and gaunt. Alex tried to speak, but his voice caught in his throat. The woman didn't seem to notice him. She was staring at something on the wall, her eyes fixed with an unnerving intensity. Alex followed her gaze and saw a family portrait. The Smiths, the family who had once lived in the house. As he looked at the portrait, Alex felt a chill run down his spine. The faces in the picture seemed to be staring back at him, their eyes cold and dead. Suddenly, the woman turned to face him. Her eyes were black as coal, and they seemed to bore into Alex's soul. He tried to run, but his feet felt heavy, as if rooted to the spot. The woman began to move towards him, her pace slow and deliberate. Alex screamed, but his voice was drowned out by the storm raging outside. The others, who had been waiting downstairs, heard nothing. They called out for Alex, but there was no response. They searched the house, but he was nowhere to be found. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. The next morning, the police found the group huddled together outside the mansion. They were shaken, their eyes wide with fear. They told the police about Alex, but when they searched the house, he was gone. Years later, people would say that on stormy nights, you could still hear Alex's screams echoing through the forest. And if you dared to enter the mansion, you might see the woman in black, standing in the hallway, staring at the family portrait with eyes that seemed to see right through you. The mansion remained standing, a haunting reminder of the tragedy that had occurred within its walls. And those who ventured too close would always feel the presence of the unseen, watching and waiting, ready to claim its next victim.